two.
Tonight on Gayxyz, we're going to discuss the pride flag. Also, the officer in the Philando Castile shooting was found not guilty. We're going to discuss that. Ricki Martin is going to be in a new Versace biopic. That's going to be interesting. And of course, we have all much more of the topics and all that bullshit to talk about. By the way, today is June 22nd, 2017. All that and more tonight on Gay XYZ.
Beats. Heartbeats.
Every time I see you, something happens to me, like a chain reaction between you and me. My heart starts missing a beat. My heart starts missing a beat. Every time, every time. Every time, if I didn't love you, I would look around for someone else. But every time I see you, you have the same effect. My heart starts missing a beat. My heart starts missing a beat. Every time, every time. Every time I hear your heartbeat next to me, I'm in love with you. I mean what I say, I'm in love with you, and you don't know what it means to be with you.
Beats. 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 Heartbeats.
Every time I see you, no matter what we do, there's a strange reaction. Can you feel it too? My heart starts missing a beat. My heart starts missing a beat. Every time, every time. Every time I hear your heartbeat next to me, I'm in love with you. I mean what I say, I'm in love with you, and you don't know what it means to be with you. Every time, every time. Every time, every time, every time,
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Gayxyz. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's Thursday, June 22nd. Hey, Jason, how are you tonight?
What's going on?
That was Heart by Pet Shop Boys, a song I love and a group I love from a long time ago. But anyway, they're still around, making albums every year. But anyway, everybody, that was Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. I was like, who was that? Okay.
Pet Shop Boys. You've heard of them, I'm sure.
I've heard of them. I just didn't know the song.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm sure you've heard lots of their songs. They've had many, many hits. You've heard West End Girls. West End Girls. You know that song? Oh, my God.
No.
I forget you're black. Never mind. Anyway. Anyway, thanks for listening to the show. It's, like I said, Thursday, June 22nd. We're talking tonight about, typical Gayxyz stuff, just gay stuff as usual, and some stuff that's not so gay. But if you want to call in during the show, you can call 214-377-0481, or you can Skype us directly by Skyping to Off Limits Show. If you want to do that, that's the name of my show. That's why we just use the same Skype account because it's easier. Anyway, so if you want to call in, feel free. Also, you can tweet us on Twitter at Gayxyz show. Also on Facebook, Gayxyz show, and also somewhere else. We're somewhere else too, aren't we? Oh, Spreaker, SPRERAKER. If you want to join the chat, they're live in Spreaker.com. You can go there, go to Spreaker.com, look up Gayxyz show, and there's a live chat there. You can chat with us through the show if you like. Anywho, so we have to talk about some things tonight. One of which is about the pride flag. We definitely have to talk about that because we didn't talk about it last week. We didn't have a show last week, so I talked about it on the Off Limits show, but I wanted to see what your take was on it, and then I'll chime in. So what do you think about it? First, let's tell everybody what we're talking about in case they don't know. You want me to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so everybody, I'm sure most of you know, or all of you probably know, but there's a big brouhaha right now about the gay pride flag. Now, the gay pride flag is the rainbow flag. It's got the 6 bars, and I think it's like yellow, blue, red, magenta, and I don't know, whatever, purple, green, I think. Anyway, and so that flag has been that way since 1978, since it was created. For the most part, it's been exactly the same. And now in Philadelphia, there's a gay and lesbian group. I think it's a resource center type thing or something. I'm not sure. But there's a group of gays and lesbians there that are lobbying, within the gay community, to have 2 additional bars added to the gay pride flag to represent the racial minorities in the gay and lesbian, bi, transgender, questioning, intersex, and ally community. So a brown and a black bar. And so there's a lot of controversy about this. Some people say it's a great idea and should be included, and other people say it shouldn't. So what do you think about that, Jason?
I'm kind of in the middle with this, and I'm going to explain why.
Okay.
So I can understand. Okay, I can possibly see why they want to add black and brown to the pride flag because I feel like, well, not me, but minorities feel like they are generally excluded in the gay community. Like there are people in the gay community who really try to exclude minorities from the gay community. Like, for example, I've seen and heard of white people who just don't have anything to do with people of color in the gay community, that type of thing. And then plus, just within the past month or so, you had the bar in New York City that was an all-white bar, and they didn't want anyone of color. And then the people that did come in there, they treat them pretty shitty. So it was like, in one way, I can see why they are doing that, but then on the other end, I'm just like, the same time, the pride flag is supposed to be universal, but at the same time, I guess people don't feel like it's universal. They feel like it's kind of aimed towards one particular group of individuals. But it's, I don't know. I'm just kind of in the middle. Like, one, I see what their intention is on doing it, but at the same time, it's like, why add those on there for racial minorities or whatever the case may be if if the gay community in general, not everyone, I'm not saying everyone in the gay community, but you do have a small percentage of people in the gay community who don't want to have anything to do with people of color in the gay community. So it's like,
right.
It's like I'm kind of straddling the fence. Like I'm kind of like,
well,
on both sides. You know what I mean?
No, because I don't think that this issue makes any sense. I mean, my take on it is that it doesn't make any sense to me to add a black and brown bar to the gay and lesbian or GLBT whatever flag, which has been a rainbow for so long, because a certain segment of the gay and lesbian population feels like they aren't represented. So I think also you have to be aware that there are transgender people who feel the same way that racial minorities sometimes feel in the gay community, that they are not considered to be part of their same movement and also excluded. A lot of people exterior to the gay community as well as in the gay community sometimes feel like the gay community is only about gay white men. And to some extent, that has been true. And then the reason that is, I think, is because the movement began in the 60s or whatever, and the gay white men who helped to begin that in like the Castro and that kind of place, and in New York City and stuff like that. I'm not saying they began it. I'm saying that they were the most visible, I should say, initially, because they had jobs and stuff. They had some money or whatever that they could afford to lose their jobs or whatever. My point is they had the ability to be out there in front, where people who were minorities had a lot more to lose because they were already oppressed, and it's already difficult for them to be just to be themselves as being a racial minority, much less to be gay as well, and then also have that as well. So my point is that that's one reason people feel that way. But they're right. Gay white men do dominate the culture, the GLBT culture, and I think that's wrong. But I also agree with you when you say, I understand the reason why they feel the need to do this. Yes, but there absolutely is racism in the gay community. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. You know that. I know that. People who are white know that. People who are Hispanic know that. Whatever. People know this, but no blacks or no whites or whites only or whatever on their profiles and things like that. No Asians, no fats, no femmes, whatever, all kind of bullshit, which is all internalized, hatred basically. But anyway, whatever. That's a whole other conversation. But that is true. But my point is that by adding 2 bars to the rainbow flag is already, I've said this in my post before in my show, is inherently multifaceted already. A rainbow represents, multi whatever it represents in the first place. So if you have a gay pride flag that is a rainbow, it already represents everyone in the community, racially, sexually, gender, everything. And so it's unnecessary to have a literal translation of that. And if you're going to add a black bar and you're going to add a brown bar, you got to add a white bar if you're going to be equal. If it's about that, of course, white people are not oppressed in this country, but I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying, however, that you have to be equal about it. You can't just say it's just black and brown people that matter. Well, if it's really about adding equality in the race, and you want to signify everybody racially, you got to add a white one too. So I don't think it makes any fucking sense, and I think it's a ridiculous way to try to solve a problem, because that doesn't solve anything by adding these 2 bars to this flag. The flag has been what it's been. I also said in one of my posts recently, I said, if people think you have to be represented by an icon of something, iconography in this sense, this rainbow flag, which represents the gay pride movement, if you think that you have to always be represented by everything and every flag or whatever, the United States flag should be, in that case, should have a black bar and a brown bar and I don't know, a fajita for the Mexicans and I don't know, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, it's just like should be, and all the white people should be represented on there and the black people and everybody else. So it's just stupid for people to act as if this is going to solve the problem. So I think it's a stupid thing, personally. This is my personal opinion. I understand where they're coming from. Like you said, it is necessary to address this issue, but this is not the way to do it. And it's not going to achieve a damn thing by doing so. What is it going to achieve if they add 2 bars to the flag?
Satisfaction. That's the only thing I can think of.
For who? Those people?
Yeah, for minorities. Well, the minorities that are interested. Yeah.
Satisfied that they are represented in the gay community. You really think that that is going to
Well,
make
no,
them
no.
represented?
I mean, it's far from a visual standpoint, but at the end of the day, they're still not really going to care. The people who
that's my point.
have no interest in
It's
it.
not going to make a difference. It isn't going to make any fucking difference. So it doesn't make any sense to do it. So I just think it's dumb. I think it's a dumb way. It's a stupid way, whatever. Ignorance not the right word, but it's a stupid way to actually go about this. I think that they got publicity and press about it and whatever, and that's good, but I don't think that it is going to solve a fucking thing. So that's what I think. So I'm really on one side of the issue. I think that, I'm not in the middle, because I understand what you mean by being in the middle, I guess, because you were like, on one hand, I understand what they're saying and I agree with it, and so do I. But on the other hand, does it really make sense for them to add these to the flag when it's not going to change anything? No, I don't think it does. So anyway. And what about, okay, so are you done with that? Are you done with that? Are we done or whatever?
Yeah, that's my only thing.
Okay.
I mean, we're gonna follow up with it and see what happens. As far as if they're going to add this or not, but we'll see.
Well, and also, there's been such a big brouhaha about this through the past week or something, whatever, and all these different.
I cannot hear you.
You can't hear me at all? Hello?
It's very, very faint.
I don't know why. I'm right here. Hello? Hello?
I can hear you, but you sound very far away.
I sound very far away. Oh, God, I swear. Let me look on here and make sure I can be heard. Hold on a second, because I don't know why I can't be heard, because I'm absolutely haven't changed anything.
I can't hear you.
Let's see if it's playing here. Play.
Hold on, I'm gonna check something to make sure it's not on my end.
Hopefully it's on Jason's side, because I don't see any issues here. I can't even hear anything. I can't even hear anything, actually. Let's see. This is wrong. That's the wrong date. Here's the live one right here. Here we go. Let's see if we can hear me or not. Sorry, people who are actually listening live, if anybody's listening live. We're having technical difficulties. Okay. Oh, now I've got to wait for the fucking commercial to end before I can play it, of course. I'm trying to hear if anybody else can hear us. So anyway, what I was trying to say was that if you can actually hear us, that a lot of people who've been making a big brouhaha about this the whole past week, online and groups and things like that. And one guy said,
can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what that was.
I guess it was on your
It wasn't
side.
on my end. I don't know what that was, but okay.
Let's see if we can hear. Yeah, I'm coming through perfectly fine on the show. I was listening to it live just now, and
Okay. Sorry, everyone.
That's
it's like
okay.
technical difficulty. That's what happens when you listen to us live. Okay, go on.
Anywho, so I was these groups and stuff were making a big deal out of brouhaha, whatever, and I'd said that I don't think that the flag issue is a big deal and blah 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 and all that stuff, and I said it's stupid to make this an issue, and I completely forgot my train of thought now, so we can just move on because I had a major point to make and I completely forgot what it was, so we'll just move on to the next thing. So let's move on to the officer shooting that you mentioned.
Yes. So for those who've been living, under a rock, last year, Philando Castile, who was pulled over in Minnesota by a police officer, legally had a handgun. He legally had it. It was licensed to him.
Right.
He was reaching for his wallet and he was shot by the police officer, who I think happened to be Asian.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forward. Also, by the way, this was also his girlfriend or fiance at that time. Live streamed it on Facebook Live.
Mm-hmm.
And all that good. I don't want to say all that good stuff. All that unfortunate situation. So fast forward a year later. He went to trial and went in front of a jury and judge and all that type of stuff. And they found him not guilty. Here's the thing I don't understand about this whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
They find him not guilty. You have him on video shooting this man, and he's still found not guilty. Like, it just clearly shows you that no matter what happens, the police department is just going to back up their own. I don't care what they do.
Yep.
They're going to back them up. But then there's a video circulating today of this white guy who was resisting arrest. I mean, he was clearly fighting the police.
Yeah.
Never got tased. Never got shot.
Mm-hmm.
They did, like, they kicked him and punched him a few times, but they never, like, used deadly force against him. They never tased him. They never shot him. They never pulled out a baton and beat him with it. It's like he still has his life at the end of the day. So, I mean,
right.
I don't understand. Here's the thing. The judicial system, I've always said the judicial system is made primarily for minorities.
You said
I've said that for years.
Made for? You mean it exists to punish them, or you mean it?
Yes,
okay,
it's made to punish minorities.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's, and I also feel like the judicial system is tough on minorities.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, listen. I'm just enraged.
It's not anything uncommon or unusual. It's not like we haven't seen this before, and it happens all the time. But you know why it happens. It happens because of racism. There's institutionalized racism in America. There has been for hundreds of years. Before and after slavery, and not just with African Americans, but with people of any color that aren't Caucasian. And as you know, and we've discussed in the show before, people who are not white are always treated more harshly. I mean, statistically, you can look this up. Statistically, if you look at the statistics, people who have done the exact same crime as someone who's Caucasian have done the same crime and the same kind of history or whatever, have been treated very differently, and they've been treated a lot better if they're white than if they're black or Hispanic or otherwise. So, and I think part of the fact is that you're saying that you think it's set up for minorities to be punished. I agree for that to a great extent, because the prison industrial complex, basically, that it's set up, when they have private prisons and stuff to make money. And
the prisons are predominantly have black and Hispanic inmates.
Yes, and
that's the majority of the population.
And they do not want to rehabilitate them, because if they rehabilitate them, they lose that money. Because if they actually go through prison and they come out, let's say they get out in 5 years, 10 years, whatever. They come out, they want them to have to commit another crime, so they can come right back in. So they keep getting that money and get paid for all that, and that's how they make the money. And so if a judge, for example, and this has been proven as well, there are many judges, and this is illegal. Well, it's unethical, I should say. It should be illegal. There's a case with a judge in San Francisco or I think San Francisco or somewhere in Modesto, California, or something like that, who had a black male in front of him, whom, as I said earlier, whom had done nothing more than what another white male had done previously in the same exact case, whom was sent to prison for life. I can't remember what they did, but the white guy was sent to prison for like 10 years or something like that, or like 5 or 10 years. And not only that, the prison that they were both sent to, the judge held stock or some sort of fiscal interest in. And so he was...
Oh, I remember something.
Yeah,
like that.
he was having people whom he was sentencing ending up in the prison that he had a vested interest in.
Yeah, and he was getting some type of kickback off of that,
yeah,
right?
Well, yeah.
I remember something like that, yeah.
Yes, and so this is not the only time that has happened. This has happened many, many times. It happens every day. And
how can you sleep at night knowing
people give
as a judge that you were sending people away for stuff that really doesn't require any prison time,
because they don't have
just
so
that you can get a fucking check?
They don't have a fucking conscience. They only give a fuck about money, and there's a lot of people, especially Republicans, who only care about money and nothing else. So, and there was a video I saw on Facebook this week, actually, about how, Americans, there's like, I can't remember what the number was, but it's like millions, I can't remember, of people in prison. And whereas in the Netherlands, they have so few prisoners that they have to ship prisoners in from the Norway and other countries. And the reason that there's so few prisoners is because they rehabilitate them. So when they're in prison, they actually give them things to do and actually learn and study and, you know, things like that, instead of just punishing them in a sense of like their freedom's restricted. Yes. But they actually are utilizing that time, forced to utilize that time for something productive that was productive for society. So when they get out, they want to contribute to society, and they can, and they're prepared. The problem is people here in America, when you come out of prison, you're exact same situation you were in when you got in there. So if you had no education when you went in there, you don't have an education when you get out of there. So what the fuck are you supposed to do when you get out? You have $5 in your pocket and no one to help you. I mean, you go steal or do something illegal.
But there's a statistic. Well, not a statistic, but there are some numbers out on this, and they are saying that according to a study, they are saying that 67.5% of inmates who are released from prison are normally right back in there within the first 3 years after they've been released.
And that's the way they want it. That's the way they want it. And that's why people say
that's a high number, 67%.
Yes.
That's like over half of the ones
that's
that get released go right back in.
That's a big failure. That's why people say the system is rigged, because it is rigged. And people, especially people who are white and have no real knowledge or understanding. I mean, I've never been to prison, and I don't have any knowledge or understanding of firsthand account or anything. But I've educated myself on this, and I've read about it, and, you know, through many different things, and seen many documentaries about it, and everything else. So I've educated myself about this to some degree. And people who are Caucasian often say, "Oh, well, they people like that they're just trash, and they need to be stay in prison or whatever." And they think that it's a good thing that these people keep going back into prison, but they don't understand that there's a system working against them.
Plus, you're paying those tax dollars to have them in there, people.
Yes, that's right. And also, it doesn't matter if you're black or white or Hispanic, whatever. If the system's against you, is if you're poor. Period. If you're wealthy, you can afford typically to get out of almost anything with the right lawyer or whatever.
You're right, because I mean, even here in Texas, in Fort Worth, you remember that 16-year-old kid?
Oh God!
That was in an accident, killed 4 people in the car, and he only got probation or something like that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and he was white. He was some white kid.
It was more than that, Jason. He went in front of the judge. And the judge said, I can't remember the term they used for it. He used for it, but something about the fact that he was too privileged and too white to go to prison, and he wouldn't survive or something. So they just let him out.
That would have been my black ass in front of the judge.
If they would have given you
put
the
me
book.
in there and threw away the fucking key.
That's right. I'm sorry to say that, but you know as well as I do that's right. If it had been you in the same exact situation, because what he did is he killed these people. He was drunk and high, and he killed these people, 3 or 4 kids or his same age, and he got out of his truck and he looked at them. He saw them lying there dead, and some of them wailing for help, and he got back in his truck and ran and went on anyway. And so, I mean, he's a hit and run, basically, and that's completely illegal and unethical, obviously. It's a horrible thing to do. So he is a fucking disgusting human being. And then he and his mother fled the country after he
went to Mexico,
and they finally found them and brought him back. But anyway, yes, that's a great example of how the system treats a white person.
After this, they released the dash cam footage, like the official footage or body cam footage of Philando Castile, who was shot and killed. And I hate reading comments on Facebook. I really do when it comes to stuff like this. But you still have a small percentage of people that leave comments that was like, well, maybe if he didn't move so suddenly, he never would have been shot. Or if he would have done what he was told, he never would have been shot. I'm like, the police officer told him to reach for his wallet, and that's what he was reaching for, and he shot him.
Yep.
I'm like, so what are you talking about? Oh, if he would have made any sudden movements, and it seems like and honestly, I'm not trying to bring up race when it comes to these comments, but when I do read these comments, the comments that were pretty much going along with the they're leaving these comments, being with the police officer or in favor of him or whatever the case may be. They were all white. All of them. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh well, maybe if we don't have the full footage, but maybe if you make any sudden movements. I'm like, bitch, his girlfriend or fiance was streaming this live on Facebook. Like, what are you talking about?
That's because there's a mentality that if you're black or Hispanic or whatever, that, oh, you're the enemy to them. It's not a lot of them anyway who are racist like that. And, oh, you shouldn't have, you scared us. You're scared us. You shouldn't have done that or whatever. And the fact is, if the situation were reversed, which they never do that, they never put themselves in the situation. If the situation were reversed and he were Caucasian, it never would have happened, first of all. But if it had happened and he had shot him in the exact same situation, he just reached for his wallet and he told him to reach for it in the first place and killed him, do you think they would have said, oh, well, he shouldn't have moved so quickly. He shouldn't have moved so fast. No. They would have said, how dare he? There would have been an outrage over that cop, white or otherwise. So, I mean, it's a huge double standard. It's obvious. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it exists. But people don't want – it's called white privilege, and that it's called that for a reason, because being the color of your skin, which is all it is pigmentation, by the way, less pigmentation than others, gets you a lot more in this country than if you have more melanin in your skin. It's just ridiculous.
Which would be the perfect segue to the next story.
The doctor?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So in Canada, this happened in Canada. There was a woman who went to a walk-in clinic because her son was complaining of chest pains. No problem, go to a walk-in clinic or whatever. Well, the lady makes an interesting request. She says that she wants to talk to a doctor that is white. She wants a white doctor. She does not want any other doctor of any other race. Her quote was she wanted a white doctor. She did not want a quote-unquote brown doctor or a doctor with brown teeth. Okay?
Brown teeth?
Yes.
Okay.
So then the nurse says, oh, well, if you want to wait for a white doctor to show up, you're going to have to wait until 4 p.m. Then I guess that's when they have their shift change, or that's when the next doctor before that shift comes in or something. I don't know. She's like, oh, well, if you want to have a white doctor, and she was they have video of it, and the way the nurse was talking to her, it was almost kind of like humorous, because the lady was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Well, if you want to wait for a white doctor, you have to wait until 4 o'clock. And I think when this happened, it was like 1 o'clock. So she was like, well, you just have to wait for 3 hours, before the next next white doctor comes in, right? So then this lady goes into all this outrage and was like, there's not a single white doctor in the building. The lady was like, no. It was just like you got to watch the video, but it was like, it was hilarious, but yet sad at the same time. And then, she was just, and then some guy in the background was like, well, if your son is having chest pains, why don't you just take him to the hospital? Why would you wait 3 hours? Like, it could be something serious and that type of thing.
Right.
So she was just like, I don't understand. You're targeting me. Then she had the nerve to say, y'all are targeting me and jumping on me because I'm white. Yeah, that's the only reason. I can't think of any other reason. Y'all are refusing services to me because I'm white.
She's not refusing services. You can see any doctor you want, just you can't see a white one until 4.
And that's what the nurse said. The nurse said, well, we have doctors here, but you have a special request. You're requesting a white doctor. Right. There will not be a white doctor here until 4 p.m. Now, if you want to speak with any doctor, he can be seen right away. Mm-hmm. If you want for a white doctor, one will not be here until 4 o'clock. And then some white people are just straight up just interesting to me, because you go in with this special request, then when they can't fulfill that request, then you have the nerve to say that out of all the shit out there, you had the nerve to say they were picking on you because you were white. That is a first for me.
Well, that's white privilege for you. She thinks she's entitled. She's entitled to get what she wants immediately. She wants a white doctor. She's white. She deserves a white doctor right now. How dare you say that I can't have a white doctor? I'm white.
Yeah, and exactly. And I think at that particular time, the doctors that they had on staff, they had Asian, and they had Asian,
Indian,
Hispanic,
probably, or something.
It was Asian, Hispanic, Asian, Hispanic, and Indian.
Yeah. That's
so they were all minority doctors. They weren't, white doctors.
That's because we don't have any. America has a really hard time attracting any fucking doctors, so we have to ship them in now. I mean, I'm saying that in a negative way. I'm saying seriously. We literally. That's why a lot of people who immigrate here are doctors or are engineers and things like that, because we are all fucking stupid here. So it's the truth. But go ahead.
Right. So I want to find out who this nurse. I wish we could interview this nurse, because I want to be like, I love the way you were talking to her. Like, you were just giving her just very blunt, like, "Oh, if you want to see a doctor, you have to wait until 4 p.m."
Well, that's just the way it was. That's just the way it was. I mean, bitch, God. I mean, why? I mean, oh Lord, why?
And
did
then, and then the nurse was like, "Well, if she's having chest pains, and and the doctor won't be here, and the doctor that you want to see won't be until 4 p.m." She's like, "Why don't you just take him to the hospital?"
Right.
And she was like, "There's no white doctor at all right now." She was like, "No."
Wow, that's hilarious. That was in Canada.
This was in Canada, yes.
Huh. I didn't know there was so racist in Canada.
I was shocked. I clearly thought this would have been somewhere here in the U.S.
Somewhere in the
but
South, most likely. That's funny. Interesting.
But no, this was in Canada. It doesn't say what province or whatever, or what city.
Yeah.
But it was just somewhere in Canada.
Interesting. Well, I guess they're racist there too.
Which is also kind of weird to me because Canada is also like they're very free with that type of stuff. They're not. You really never hear of anything like that happening in Canada. So it's like,
well, not generally. No. I mean, I don't really. I mean, Canadians. I don't think of Canadians as generally racist people, but I'm sure there are plenty of racists there. I mean, they're just like they're racist everywhere in every country. But as a generalization, no, I don't consider Canadians to be racist. Generally, like Americans are. But anyway, interesting.
But I just thought that was kind of interesting, funny, and sad all at the same time.
It is sad. That's for sure. Sad commentary. Did you hear about? I don't know if you're. I keep forgetting. You're like 10 years younger than me, so I can't remember how old you. I guess you.
Excuse me. I'm 7.
I was 7 years younger than me. Sorry,
not 10.
Well, I'm trying to make myself older, I guess. But no. So I don't know if you were like all about this when it actually happened, or you remember it. But do you remember when Gianni Versace got murdered in the 90s or early 2000 or 1999? I think it was, or something. Do you remember this? No. Okay. Well, it was a huge deal, and
what? I mean, what do you remember? What year was it? Like the early 90s or late 90s?
Well, it doesn't matter if you don't remember, but
well, no, because I do remember someone getting murdered, and then the guy.
Yeah, I was going to tell you about it. So yeah, Gianni Versace. It was in 1997, by the way, 1997. Anyway, what happened? So if you don't know, everybody doesn't know, I'm sure you know, but Gianni Versace, Versace, the brand Versace, which was in the 90s, late 90s especially, Versace was the brand. It was like the it brand, Like now it's like Moschino or whatever, and, Prada.
They have Versace
whatever.
Sunglasses for $15 at the store.
Well, I'm talking about the 90s. It was.
I know they were the it thing in the 90s, but not anymore. But keep going.
But anywho, well, it also in the 90s it was all couture. They didn't have any. Like now they have haute couture. They have a pret-a-porter, which is ready to wear stuff. You go to the store and you can buy shit. That's why it's cheap now because they make it en masse. But those days it was almost all couture. So anyways, very high fashion. Anyway, he was gay and he was murdered by this guy named Andrew Cunanan. And Andrew
I remember that name. Okay, I remember. Yeah, I do remember this.
And Andrew Cunanan was biracial. I think he was Asian and white or something. And he had a lot of like kind of mental issues. Not like he was mentally kind of like off. And
wasn't he gay as well?
He was gay. Yes, I just said that he was gay. And anyway, so what happens is he ends up going. Gianni, he met Gianni Versace at a party or something, and Gianni Versace didn't really pay much attention to him. And Andrew Cunanan was like an escort and kind of was well known in his circles or whatever, and usually got what he wanted.
That's the weird thing though, because he was actually I remember the pictures. He was actually a nice looking guy.
Who? Andrew
Cunanan.
Yeah, but what's weird about it? That's why he was an escort, because he was good looking. Anyway, so he was escorting. I'm not saying he was trying to get it. He was trying to get Gianni Versace to be a sugar daddy, basically, okay? He was trying to get him to do that. And Gianni Versace did not hire him. He didn't want anything to do with him. And so he rebuffed him, basically. So it pissed him off. And it wasn't just that. His whole life was kind of going down the tubes at the time. And so he blamed Gianni Versace and his fucked up mind and all his people he'd known in the past for all his ails and stuff. He's losing money. And he found he had HIV and everything else at the time. He got diagnosed. Anyway, so he goes on this killing spree across the country and kills like 3 gay men, like different places around like the country. And he ends up in Miami at Gianni Versace's huge mansion in Miami Beach. And Gianni Versace is going out as he does every morning to get his coffee and his paper. He comes back, he's walking back to his place, and he shoots him on his doorstep, basically, and murders him. And eventually, Andrew Cunanan gets caught. So the reason I'm talking about this, though, is because they are making a biopic. They've already made the biopic about it. And Ricki Martin is playing Gianni Versace's lover. and I can't remember who else is in it. There's several other people in it, but anyway. Andrew Cunanan is being played by Darren Criss from Glee. I don't know if you know Glee, but anyway, the gay guy from Glee, he's playing him. Not the skinny one, not the other one, the dark haired one. But anyway, so it's coming out. So I think it's gonna be really good. You should watch it if you don't know about the story. It's a very intriguing story about what happened with Andrew Cunanan. It's gonna be on Ryan Murphy's new show, American Crime. And this season is going to be the story about Gianni Versace's murder and about Andrew Cunanan and about how it led up to his murder and everything else. So I think it'd be interesting. You should watch it. I know you won't because you never watch anything I tell you to watch, but you should try it. You should watch it. This was the other thing. Oh my God, this last week, this whole thing. Okay, you ever seen the show Fixer Upper before?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen the episode.
Okay, well, I know all about it because it's kind of in my industry and what I do. It's about interior design and building houses and shit like that, selling houses, and so and it takes place in Waco. It's filmed in Waco, and what they do is that's
Waco, Texas, people.
Waco, Texas. They find a house that's shitty and crappy, and then they show them 3 houses, whatever. Then the couple picks one, and then they fix it up completely, and they move in. And they don't see it till the very end.
Oh yeah. I think I've seen an episode or two. Okay. I don't watch it all the time, but I think I've seen an episode or two. Yeah.
Well, anyway, my husband is from Waco, and we used to go there all the time before we had a falling out with his family. I had a falling out, but anyway, so we used to go down there all the time, and so we went to see. There was a house one of the very first houses they did on the show was called the Shotgun House. And it's this 1-bedroom house with a loft, and this couple just wanted like a tiny living house, but it was only like 1,000 square feet, but still more than tiny living. But anyway, it's a really gorgeous house, gorgeous kitchen, beautiful finishes, everything, right? And it's in a really shitty area at the time, but the area it's in is kind of being revitalized because Joanna and Chip Gaines, who are on the show, built this huge Magnolia Bakery there, and they built these silos where they sell furniture and stuff like that, bouncing off the show. So it's turning over. But anyway, the point is, these people now, like 6 years later or whatever, they paid, I think, they paid $5,000 for the land and like $150,000 to build the house, okay? And now they have listed this house for $950,000. Now, this is a 1,000 square foot, 1-bedroom with a loft house in Waco, Texas.
Why is it so much?
I am licensed here in Texas, as a broker, and I'm a part of the Waco Board of Realtors as well as the Dallas-Fort Worth one, Metrotex. So I know what property is worth there, and it is nowhere, especially in the neighborhood they're in. You know what you could get for $1 million in Waco, Texas? I'm telling you, you could live like a fucking king. Okay, it's not like it's that cheap to live there. It's about the same. It's about maybe 30% cheaper than Dallas, but I'm just saying you could really live like a king. So everybody's like, what? So it was made the Dallas Morning News. It made the news and everything else because this house was completely overpriced. And everybody's like, what the fuck are they thinking? And then somebody said, well, maybe they're geniuses. Maybe they did that on purpose so they could get national exposure to sell their house. And they're going to lower the price to a reasonable rate at the point. Now, maybe they're doing that. But if they really think they're going to get that much money just because it appeared on a fucking TV show, they're fucking idiots. I just wanted to say that.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So they picked the house, they fixed the house.
Yes.
Why would you? I mean, I don't.
Why would you what?
I don't understand why would they list it that high? I mean, I know you said that's probably why they do it to get national exposure, but.
I don't know.
I mean,
it's listed by Sotheby's. It's listed by Sotheby's, and they were asked by the Dallas Morning News, "Is this a joke?" And Sotheby's says, "No, it's not a joke." And so I think somehow they're serious, and they're completely ludicrous. It's a completely ludicrous price. Trust me. I mean, what you could get in Dallas even for $1 million is incredible compared to that house. I mean, there's nothing about the house that dictates $1 million. Okay, nothing. Not the location. The house is beautiful. I'm not saying it's not. It's a beautiful house, but it's a shotgun house.
I'm sure no one's put an offer in. I'm almost positive no one's put an offer in.
No. But anyway, it's made the news and everything, and I'm sure a lot of people who listen to the show have watched that show because it's a very, very popular show. And so,
so did they do that? So I'm assuming they're doing that just for attention, plus to give the TV show some credit, I guess.
I don't know, but Joanna Gaines and Chip Gaines, who are the hosts of the show, aren't happy about when people try to capitalize on it, because they did the show and do the show for regular people who want to live in the houses. They don't want just people to sell the houses and make them bed and breakfasts or whatever. They want them to actually live there. And a lot of people who've been on the show have started trying to like make them Airbnbs and, you know, sell them for, you know, like this huge exorbitant pricing and whatever. And it's kind of pissed them off. And so they said next season they're going to make it in their contract with the people that they cannot sell the house for like 5 years or 10 years or something like that.
That's a good idea.
yeah.
I would do the same thing.
Yeah. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting. It's interesting.
Not even Airbnb, because you ain't about to make a profit off of me, bitch. No Airbnb.
What's wrong with Airbnb?
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's like, but my thing is, you didn't think about putting, you know, make a profit. Because the thing is, once you fix it up, first of all, I have no problem with Airbnb. So I love you, Airbnb.
So
I've used you guys in the past. I love you. I have no problem with Airbnb per se.
Yeah.
My issue was that the people who try to use it after they've had the house renovated.
Oh.
And now, because the thing is, if someone rents a room or rents the house out from them, that money's going to the owners. It's not going to the host of the show.
No.
So it's like, and plus my thing is, you didn't think of doing this until after your house was renovated.
That's what they all do. They all do that because it looks. I'm telling you, they look amazing. They do an amazing job. It's gorgeous. And they give them all of it. I mean, it's just beautiful. And yeah, so when they see the house when it's actually completed, they're just flabbergasted and they think, "Wow, I could get a lot of money for this."
I'm glad the hosts are doing that. They should add that into the contracts when they sign.
That's what I read. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I read. But anyway,
well, they should. I mean, if it's out there, then I hope that they do, because they should.
Yes,
if that's
I agree with
the
you.
case.
I agree with you. I have to tell you a quick story about what happened to me this last week. I got every time a package comes to my house. I'm like FedEx and UPS, whatever, has a notification. It says you have a package coming or on the way or whatever, and you know you can sign for it before you get here or whatever. And so I always know when a package is coming. And so I got these 2 FedEx notifications, or UPS, I can't remember which one it was, that said you have a package coming from Walmart. I was like, I haven't bought shit from Walmart. What the fuck? I said, what's coming for me from Walmart? And so I don't know what it was. And so it gets here. And I open the first box, or the first one's a bag. I open the bag from Walmart, and it's baby clothes. I'm like, what the fuck? And by the way, it has my name on it and my address, so it's coming to the right place and the right person, but I did not order these. It's baby clothes. And then the next day, the other box comes, and it's this fucking car seat for a baby, an infant. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? Why am I getting? Who the fuck? What happened?
Did your husband say, was like, are you about to adopt a kid?
No, he's like, I was like, I told him I was confused. Anyway, and so what happened is, so I have this thing called myfico.com or whatever, and it alerts you whenever there's anything on your credit report new or anything. And it said I had a new account on my credit report. So I went to my credit report, and it said I had a new Walmart credit card account. Now, I already have a Walmart account, okay? I have a Walmart credit card already. And it had a second account that was just opened like June 12th or something. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I call Walmart, and they say, yeah, this was open, blah, 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 blah. I was like, no, it wasn't. I said, why would I open another fucking account? I already have an account. I said, I have an account already. Why would I open another one? Oh, you're right. You do have an account. I was like, yeah, I do. So anyway, it turns out I had to call my credit reporting agencies and everything else, and put a fraud alert on my account and everything else, because somebody apparently opened a Walmart account with my information. But the weird thing is, why did they send it to my house? Why did they send it to me? Does that make any sense to you?
I don't know, maybe to make it look less suspicious, maybe?
Well, how the fuck were they going to get it? They can't just stalk my house until it comes here.
Listen, I don't know.
But don't you think that's weird? I think it's bizarre.
I mean, no, it's crazy weird, but I don't know why they would do that.
I don't either. But anyway, so now I've got these fucking baby clothes and stuff. I said, what do I do with this shit? I was like, well, I don't have a fucking baby. I don't want this shit. What do I do with it? And so that's what I'm going to do. So do I ship it back? I'm like, no, just, whatever. It wasn't very much money, but it was still, I was like, I don't want it. So anyway, that's the first thing. The second thing that happened in this regard was today, one of my credit cards, a new credit card I opened about, 3 months ago or whatever, I got a fraud alert on my card. And I called the Citibank, and I said, what's the deal? And they said, well, we have these, da-da-da. So I looked at my account online, and I had literally 10 charges from Uber on my card. I've never, ever once used an Uber in my life. And they were like $15, $70, $10, 12. I mean, like 15 or 12 charges, whatever it was. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I don't know. Somebody got my card or whatever, and so they had to cancel it, and they sent me another one or whatever. So I'm like, well, somebody has my information. Somebody has my information, and they're using it over and over and over again. So anyway, it's just this is like the fourth time
I've had that happen. I mean, not like that, but I mean, I've been in situations, and then
it's like the fourth time for me in 2 years this has happened. I saw somebody. It's like the same person. I must be or something. And I'm like, I have everything you can possibly do to protect yourself, credit wise, everything, and yet. I mean, I keep getting my information. I don't know if I've been out and I've used my card and someone's like used one of those little scanner things or whatever, and just like, you know, or maybe a waiter or something took it back there and swiped it. I don't know, but so now I'm still like, I just want to use one card from now. I'm just gonna use my American Express card and that's it, and I'll just pay. You know what I mean? And that way I always know, because I have so many fucking cards, I don't know which one has been compromised. So now I'll just do that for the rest of my life and not ever use another fucking card. Because I'm just really fucking pissed. Anyway, I'm pissed. So I just thought it was weird. So anyway,
it is weird. It is weird.
I want to talk about that. And then the last thing I want to talk about, and I know you've got a couple more topics, but one thing I want to say is I am starting a candle, Candle line, wherein I actually create all the scents and everything else. I got all the stuff last week where you create your own candles from a candle wholesaler here locally in Watauga, which is like way out BFE near Fort Worth. And
it's the suburbs of Dallas.
Yeah, way the fuck out. Anyway, it's one of the suburbs of Fort Worth. But anyway, so I did that. So I'm starting the candle. And one of the funny things I'm doing is, I'm not going to tell you. But anyway, I was going to ask you, do you have a favorite like scent that you like candle-wise?
I do.
What's your favorite scents for candles?
I like. Okay, so you know when it rains and it's like that fresh rain.
Yes.
I love that smell.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
It smells like rain.
Yes.
It just smells clean and fresh. You know what I'm talking? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you. I'll make one like that then. So I'll make one like that too. But I'm gonna actually sell.
Are you gonna give one of them to me?
Yeah, I already did the packaging for them. I'm working on the labels and stuff. And so when I get everything done and I get the first batch poured and stuff, I'll give you one. Yes, absolutely. But I gotta figure out the formula for rainfall. I don't know what the fuck that's gonna be, but I gotta figure that out. But I'm sure I can find it somewhere. But anyway, but yeah, they're made with like essential oils and, you know, and then soy. I'm using soy wax because paraffin is oil based. I'm using soy wax. And they're all going to be hand poured and going to be very fancy. Anyway, I'm going to sell them on my own website and also on my furniture site as well, but also on my own branded website for my name. So I'm going to start doing accessories and stuff separately from my furniture because I really want to do stuff that's just me and branded just me. So anyway, when I get the catalog done, you can have one. You can pick something out for free.
Yay.
Anyway, and all of you listening, if you use the discount code Gayxyz, you get 10% off. Good for you. So I'll let you know when that happens. Mm-hmm. All right. So before we go, let's talk about the other few things. We had on here something about Barbie's boyfriend, Ken.
So, yes.
What's that about?
So, Barbie's boyfriend, Ken, now comes in 3 body types and 7 different skin tones.
Yes. That's awesome. I love that.
And the first thing the song that popped in my head
what
when I heard this was that Little Kim, How Many Licks? When she says, I've been in a lot of places, seen a lot of faces. Oh, hell, I've been fucked with different races. That's the first thing I thought about for some reason.
I knew exactly what you were talking about. That's funny. Yeah. Yes, that's funny.
So, yeah, it comes in different colors. Well, colors. They come in different skin tones.
Right.
Let me pull it. I'm trying to pull it up here.
And body types, you said, too? So, like fat and skinny and muscular?
Well, no. It comes in 3 body types and 7 different skin tones. So, the 3 body types are slim, broad, and original. So, I guess slim is slim. Original is just original physique. And I guess broad is like a combination of
stout. Somebody stout.
Like stout, thick, on the thick side.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it says you can also choose from 8 different hair colors, 9 hairstyles, including a man bun, and various eye colors. And it says the fashion styles range from athletic wear to business attire.
That's hilarious. That's good that they're doing that because they've had multifaceted or multiracial Barbies for a long time, and she can't just date a white guy all the time. Ken's got to be,
I guess they were just like now. It says following Barbie's 20 diversification in 2016.
Yes.
So I guess now they're just like, well, it's a new day. Time to start dating other racist people.
What's been happening for ever? But anyway, okay. That's funny. Well, that's good. That's good though. That's good.
I like that idea, and I'm actually looking at a picture online now of the different ones, and they're all nice. They all are nice looking dolls. They are.
They are. Yeah, I bet they are. I mean,
I don't really care for the one with the man bun though. That's just a personal preference.
But my question is this though: like, did they change the facial features, or did they just keep the same Ken doll and just change the skin tone? You know what I mean?
No, they have different facial features.
So they have more ethnic features and more.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Good.
Like some people have. I mean, some of the guys
broader
have
noses or whatever.
Some of them have like a strong jawline, like a V jawline.
Yeah.
Some people have like a round face. Some people have
Okay.
like chiseled face. I mean, they have
That's
different
good.
structures. Yeah.
Well, see, that's good because not only for girls, but when I was a kid, I played with Barbie dolls, but I really didn't have a Barbie. I had a Barbie doll.
I mean, what guy didn't?
But no, I was going to say I had a Ken doll too, and if I had a Ken doll that looked more like me, I would have liked that as a kid instead of one that just looked like somebody like in my family.
And that was the thing because Mattel was saying that they came out with these because, they wanted someone they know. I guess they finally realized that when they purchase these dolls, a lot of people like to purchase dolls that look like them.
Yes.
So they were just like, so I guess if you get like a Hispanic Barbie. And if that little girl or little boy happens to want a Hispanic Ken, then so be it. Or if, they want to mix up and have an interracial couple, hey.
Right, whatever. Right.
But
that's good. But that's what I think the beauty of it is because you have all these choices now. And I know, I'm saying when I was a kid, and you two probably, they did not have diverse Barbies or dolls like that. They were all the same. They were all white, and they were all, you know what I mean? They had them, but they were always like off-brand and would fall apart and shit like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It reminds me of this thing that they had thing that they had on John Quinones when he hosted that.
Yes, I saw. I was just thinking about that. I was going to mention it. Yes, I know.
Yeah, when he.
What would you do?
The white mother and the white child go into the toy store and
doll.
the white girl picks out a black doll.
Mm-hmm, yes.
And the woman flips out because she was like, "You should get a doll that looks like you." She was like, "No, but I like her because she's has
pretty
curly hair."
and blah, blah, blah,
she's
whatever.
like, "She's pretty," and she's like, "She has curly hair. I don't have curly hair." And then sometimes you get girls who want to get a doll that. That wish they had the features that they did, or vice versa.
Right.
Like the girl said that she liked the doll because she had curly hair.
Right.
But she was like, "You should get a white doll." I was like, "Bitch, shut up. Let that girl get what she wants."
I know.
Because if I had a kid, if I had a daughter, and she happened to want to get a doll of a different race, I would have been like, oh, "Okay, get it. If that's what you want, get it."
Well, people, it's just annoying. People are just they try to control kids and they try to make them what they think. The thing is, kids, you come out of the womb, you don't have a racial bone in your body or a belief system. It's taught to you. And not just racism, but in general, how things are quote unquote, supposed to be. Like, oh, whites are always with whites or blacks with blacks or whatever. And in some communities, that's what they believe. And so that woman apparently is part of one of those communities that just believes, oh, well, you're white, so you should have a white doll. It doesn't matter if she thinks she's pretty, and oh my God, does that threaten her because she thinks she's pretty and she doesn't want a white doll?
I just remember that the mother flipped out. She was like, "You should get a doll that looks like you."
Yes.
She was like, "But she's pretty and has curly hair," and this girl was not budging.
No, I know.
So it was
she was an actress, so
right. I know, but still. But I mean, that happens in everyday life, though, where little girls are like,
Sure
"But I
does.
want it because she's pretty,"
Yeah.
But but that was that. So also. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they are considering little Lionel Ritchie to be a judge on American Idol, and I have a huge problem with this. First of all, I don't watch American Idol, but I mean, I feel like here's the thing. I feel like American Idol has run its course, and they should just cancel the show. I don't know why they're trying to.
They did cancel the show. They're bringing it back.
But I don't understand. But why though? It's like I feel like they're beating a dead horse with this.
Well, we beating a dead horse with that point because we've talked about that a million times. Anyway, continue. Why don't you want Lionel Ritchie on the show?
I don't feel like it's a good move for him. Like he's a legend and an icon. Like I don't feel like
You don't think Mariah Carey is a legend and an icon, and you don't think J-Lo is a legend and an icon, and also
I do.
Paula Abdul.
I do. But he is a legend and an icon. I do like that, but I just don't think it's a good career move. I mean, for God's sakes, they're gonna have Katy Perry as a judge. Now that really upsets me because I'm just like, bitch, you've been out here for all of like 20 minutes.
She
like,
has been out here for like 11, 12 years. I mean, that's a long time.
She can't sing to me. I feel like, here's my thing. If you're going to have a judge on American Idol, get someone who knows how to fucking sing. Katy Perry cannot sing. I mean, she can hold a good, she can
sing.
hold a little bit of a note. And she can, she has some cute songs or whatever.
You're too harsh. You're just too harsh.
She's no icon. And that album she has out now called Witness, that shit is fucking trash. I don't know who. I listened to that album in my car yesterday, and the day before yesterday. That shit is just all over the place. I'm like, what is your theme to this album? Because I'm like, your songs are just all over the place.
She's just trying something different. You're so judgmental, my God.
No, listen to the album.
I have listened to the album. I have.
The album is trash.
I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying that artistically, it's okay. I just don't think it's that great commercially.
I just feel like she's came out with better albums.
Okay,
like this one. I know she's doing something different, and she's killing me with that whole tired ass Hillary Swank look with that haircut. It's just like, I don't know. I'm just disappointed with her. I'm like, the only song that I really like I ain't gonna say really like. I think the only song that is somewhat okay is that Swish Swish that she did with Nicki Minaj, and that'll be played out by the end of the month. And then that Chain to the Rhythm.
Yes, that's
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
The rest of that shit is straight up trash. I'm sorry. That's just my personal opinion. I think the album is trash overall.
Okay, we get it.
And I feel she got that tired ass Hillary Swank look. I'm not feeling it.
Okay then. Well, anything else you want
I
to say?
feel better now.
Okay. Do you want to talk about, I don't know, something about some claws or some shit? You want to talk about cats and claws or something?
Oh, no. Okay, so do you watch Daytime Divas on VH1?
No, I don't.
Okay. It's hilarious. It has Vanessa Williams, Tashina Arnold.
This is the one that's supposed to be The View?
Yeah.
Based on The View? Oh, no, I've never watched it. I've heard of it, though.
Yeah, it is hilarious.
Okay.
You should watch it.
I probably will.
I've been recording on DVR.
But what channel is it on? Lifetime?
No, you think a show like this will come on Lifetime?
I thought you said Lifetime. What?
No, it comes on VH1.
Oh, VH1. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then Claws comes on TNT.
Okay.
That one stars Niecy Nash. Well, she's the only one I really know. And Karrueche Tran, who's the girl who used to date Chris Brown back in the day. That's a really good show as well. Mm-hmm. I really, really like that show. It's interesting. Anyone who watches Daytime Divas or Claws, or if you not watched it and want to watch it, you should. Daytime Divas is hilarious.
Okay.
Claws is more of like a drama suspense thing, which I like as well. But I'm a fan of Niecy Nash as well. I've been following her. I've been following her since she was way back on Reno 911 as Rainisha Williams.
Yes, she's hilarious. Did you ever see? I bet you didn't watch her on the Showtime show though, did you? What's it called? Nurses? No, what was it called? Oh my God!
No, I did watch that.
Getting on.
Yes, I love that show.
I'm surprised you watched that show. I didn't think it'd be your kind of thing.
Yes, it had Lloyd Metcalf and
yes.
What's the Hispanic guy's name? I think his real name is like
know his name, but the fatter guy, the bigger guy.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but yeah.
He's been in a lot of movies and TV shows.
Yes, he has, yeah.
But no, I watched that. It was on for 2 seasons?
And also it had Bornstein. What's her name? Alex Bornstein.
Alex Bornstein.
Yes.
Yeah, she plays the voice on
Family Guy.
What's the name on Family Guy?
Yes, she does.
And she was also on Mad TV.
Yes, she was. I love her. She's funny. Before we go, let's talk quickly. If you watched Potomac this week, did you watch it?
Yes. I'm getting bored with Potomac.
Well, first of all, I have to say I like Monique. I do like Monique. I like her.
I do. Now, I do like Monique. I
didn't know if I was going to like her at first, but I actually like her. She seems real, and I like that. And she seems just like, whatever, bitch. I don't give a fuck. I like her. And then, but I have gotten my fill with fucking Karen, and with Giselle's getting on my nerves a little bit now too. But Karen and Charisse,
I'm not the only one.
Yes, you're not the only one, because I bitched at you about Giselle, but that was the beginning of the season. But now I see. I mean, she's
beginning of this season.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, okay.
She's playing out well for me. But and what's her name? Charisse.
Yes.
I don't like her, but this last episode I was okay with her. But usually I don't like her, but she was okay this last episode. But anyway, Karen Huger, I don't know what. First of all, this funny thing is, I'm on a group now that has like a Potomac Housewives group on Facebook, and people talk about it and shit. And people were talking about her fucking wigs. They are so bad. They were so bad.
That too. I saw that somebody was talking about it on.
God.
On I think it might be in that same group or whatever, but they were like, her wigs.
Well, they actually showed pictures from the first season and then pictures of the last season of her hair. And the first season, she was just on fleek. She was like, it was perfect. Her hair was perfect. It was always beautiful, coiffed, and it was healthy looking. But this season, it looks like she got her wig out of a fucking Cracker Jacks box or some shit. I mean, it is bad. It's like dry, and it's like so far back she doesn't like. That's what's her face was saying on the show.
Her forehead looks huge.
What was her name? What's the youngest girl's name? I can't remember her name.
You talk about Ashley?
Ashley, she said, talking about her hairline, she said, bitch better check her hairline. Oh, that's right, she didn't have a hairline, because she's like, her hairline is like in the middle of her fucking head. It is so bad. But my point is people are, they're like speculating, is she having money problems because she can't afford to maintain her wigs anymore? They sold their house in Potomac to move to Great Falls.
And let me add, they sold the house for much less than she wanted.
Yes.
That house was extremely dated.
It needed so much work. It needed so much work. And that kitchen was horrible for its.
That kitchen was atrocious. Like,
it really was.
I was like, do you really think? And I mean, she would brag about it like it was just like
I love my kitchen. She's like, I love my kitchen. I'm like, whatever, bitch. You don't like that kitchen. You don't like that kitchen. Nobody likes that kitchen.
I like my apartment has more up to date shit than her kitchen.
I mean, the thing is, and the reason I don't care what somebody has. Like, if somebody has a shitty kitchen or a shitty house or shitty car, I don't give a fuck. It does not mean a thing to me. The only reason it matters to me is because she's so pretentious and she's like, I'm the grande dame and I have all this money and I'm so wealthy and blah, 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 blah. If she really is all of those things, then why don't you fix your fucking kitchen, fix your fucking hair, and fix up your house. I mean,
then I don't like the fact that she went off on Ashley, where she was like, "Oh, because Ashley said, oh, well, if you move, since you're moving to Great Falls, you won't be the grande dame of Potomac anymore." And she was like, "Well, I'll take that up with the people who gave me that title." Bitch, that's a title you made up yourself. Stop. Like,
she's the people who gave it to me.
Stop.
Exactly. I remember.
You made up that title yourself. Karen, go sit down.
I just
sit down.
I just have had my fill with her because I find her to be fake, and also, especially the scene where she, what's her name? Robin came to talk to her in the hotel room, and she's getting her hair done and stuff. And Robin came to talk to her, and she left, and she was talking behind her back off camera. You remember that?
Yeah.
And the thing she said about hair, that motherfucker. I was like, oh, that's her true colors right there. So
she got real hood for a moment.
Well, that's the real her.
She's like, y'all ain't gonna talk to me and expect me to roll over, motherfucker.
Exactly.
I was like, ooh, Karen, you really didn't let the true colors come out behind. Okay.
Anyway,
I say what happened was her mic was still on. She didn't see the cameras,
right?
But that mic was still on, and that mic recorded that shit.
Well, of course it did. If they can record it, they will. If they can record it, they will, because it makes good TV. So anyway, well, that's all for the show tonight, everybody. We will be back next week, hopefully on Thursday, the 29th, I think it is. Is this 22nd? Yeah, it's already. Oh my God, the month's almost over. Already almost 42 in a month. Oh my God, it's going by so quickly. Anyway, I will be back with Jason. We will be back next week. If you want to follow us. Excuse me, sorry. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook. I don't think we're on Instagram, but Twitter, Facebook, or Spreaker.com.
We might be soon or later.
I don't know what the fuck we're going to post, but anyway. Follow us there, and also feel free to email us if you have a question or anything at Donovan, since he doesn't ever use his Donovan, DONOVAN, at gayxyz.com. And I'm happy to answer any questions for you, any comments, or whatever you want to say to us. So thank you for listening to the show.
Wait, I gotta give out my stuff too.
Oh, I gave out our stuff. Oh, you mean your personal stuff?
Well,
Okay.
I have an Instagram.
Okay, yes, you do.
You guys can follow me on Instagram. We'll come out with our own, show Instagram at some point. I have to get with Donovan.
I don't know what the
about
fuck we're
that
gonna put on
behind
it,
the
but
scenes.
okay.
We'll talk about it after the show. But you can follow me on Instagram. My name is Fire and Ice 17, which is FIRE
Fire and
ANDICE 17. Fire and Ice 17.
Fire nice.
I don't know what the fuck Donovan's doing. I guess he's trying to give it, special effects or some shit. I don't know. But that's where you can follow me.
Yes, that's where you can follow Jason, okay? All right. So we'll be back next week.
See this shade that he's throwing right now?
Oh, shut up. Anyway, we'll be back next week with more hot gay topics and more. So we hope to see you then. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. We love you all. Stay gay.
Bye. Stay gay. Yeah.